What's up, guys? Daniel from Black Pass Moto. Red Bud just wrapped up 2026 Red Bud, 4th of July weekend, all that stuff. And just wanted to, talk about what happened this last weekend, where we're at for championship pictures, both classes, all that stuff. And my first takeaway for 250s is that, I mean, if there was any doubt about Cole Davies being in title contention, I think we can kind of put that to bed for now. Cole looked awesome. He rode incredible, super fast. Joe tracked him down in Moto 2, but Joe's fitness is next level. Um, there's there's been talk about like Cole and the heat maybe being an element potentially. He apparently was throwing up after the races, so I don't know, maybe that is something to keep an eye on going forward, but I think we can definitely say that he's going to be one of the guys as long as he's good and healthy. I mean, I don't see why not. Speaking of Joe though, in that Moto 2, like Joe is who we all thought he was. I came into this series picking Joe as my title favorite, and I didn't, like at first it felt like, oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm a little scared, but it it kind of felt like Joe was gonna turn it around the whole time, right? Like I felt like Joe sometimes starts these titles a little slow, but he turns it up as it goes on, and he's doing that now. He looks great in Moto 2s so far, especially like last few weeks. Um, it it seems like Joe's just got to figure out getting the Moto 1 thing going. If Joe had good starts, I don't see why Joe wouldn't be at the front um the whole time. Yeah, but Cole gets the overall. Joe gets second, but he also gets the red plate, but he looked great. Moto 2, I mean, Joe can definitely leave feeling like he was the best guy this weekend on the 250 class. Ryder D rounds out the podium. That's cool to see. Um, it's it's weird like Rockstar Husky now going, to lose that team. Husky's done, but they're getting two top fives in the 250 class this weekend. So Casey Cochran looking for a job. He's definitely putting in the work, putting up results that these teams are going to look at, and they're going to see that speed. I think somebody's going to have to take a flyer on Casey. Like Casey deserves a factory ride, I feel like. I mean, I don't know. He's definitely. I feel like he finds a factory seat somewhere. Yeah, the only American on the podium for either class though, Ryder D. Um, just consistent day, Ryder D. Man, he looks good. I don't see why he can't get more podiums. I'd love to see Ryder D get a race win. After kind of a rough start to his pro career, I guess you could say, considering all the hype that he kind of came in with turning pro. It'd be awesome to see Ryder D get a win. He's been looking really good. Or no, I think Cochran got fourth, right? Right. I want to say, but Kitchen got fifth with a 4.5. Um, I it kind of felt like early on, like Kitchen was the fastest guy, and now I'm not so certain of that, and I don't think that everybody's just surpassed him. I don't know if that back injury's flaring up. I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't feeling good at Redbud. Maybe he's sick. I want to give Levi the benefit of the doubt because I don't know. Um, but like this isn't what he wants. This isn't like he knows that's not going to get the job done, and the job for him is winning a title. That's the goal this year. Levi Kitchen's not going to be happy doing less than that, in my opinion. So hopefully the things turn around for him. Um, Speaking of title hopes, Juju Bomer had a really rough day at Red Bud, which sucks because he wasn't slow. It just didn't work out for him. I don't know, man. It sucked. It it sucks to see because it was like he was just in title contention last week, and it kind of felt like Juju might be able to just kind of consistently, be in the top five all season. But that one round, it really makes it a lot more difficult because Joe and Cole aren't just giving up points in chunks for the most part. Um, Apparently Juju had a huge crash in Moto 2. I haven't seen that, but I'll have to check that back out. Um, but for 250, Joe now has the red plate. He's up 4 points on Davies and 9 points on Kitchen. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks really good for Joe right now, especially if Davies does kind of struggle with the heat. Um, that could be an element for it. Who do you guys think though is going to win 250 title? Do you have Joe? Do you have Cole? Maybe you think Levi's pulling this out. It could totally happen. It's only 9 points, man. 50 points a weekend, like, or up for grabs. It, Juju's not entirely out of it if something happens with the top couple guys. But for 450, Hunter Lawrence, he just might be the best rider in the world right now. Um, it- I like have we ever seen anybody else start behind Jet, track him down, pass him, and gap him? And I don't care about the crash on the last lap. I don't care. I don't care that the bike got something caught in the chain. That doesn't change the fact that Hunter started behind Jet, tracked him down, made up ground, passed Jet, put time on him, and was gone. I don't think that's ever happened before. Like, we had that Nations or the MXON where Geisher got him, where Tim Geisher had Jet, but Jet didn't need it, and it wasn't like Geisher didn't like Tim didn't march away from Jet. He got him in the very last turn when Jet wasn't really expecting it. Chase beat Jet at points. Was it last year? But it was after, the crash. And yes, I know little brother Jet not at 100% right now, but he's not that far from it. I mean the rides we saw where he went 1-1 at Lakewood and he went 1-1 at, was it Hangtown? Yeah, Hangtown. And like that wasn't long ago. And it seems like the ankle's getting better. No, I don't know. I like physically he's able to walk better. Yeah. But I don't know if it's tracks. It might be tracks. Maybe it's just certain like dirt types are going to be harder for Jet. Maybe it's ruts. I don't know, dude. But I I think right now we kind of have to list Hunter as the number one guy. Like Hunter's kind of the guy to beat right now because you don't know with Jet right now. You're not sure how he's going to look next week. I know Hunter is going to be really good. Like I I think there's even argument to be made that Hunter might have been faster than Jet at the rounds where Jet went 1-1. Jet started in front of Hunter. Hunter didn't get passed by Jet on those weekends. Like that's not how it's happened. I don't think I man, I don't know, man. It really feels like Hunter's at the top though. Right now, Hunter's number one. Um it sucks though that he had the bike tip over thing. That's not fun. Um it was weird to see both of them like teammates getting one too and they're like screaming and pissed off. Like I understand what they were mad about. I mean, I think everybody can understand why Hunter would be angry after that happened. Like, had an issue with the bike, something got caught in the chain, bike gave out essentially. It's not his fault. Like, he knows that's not his fault. And it's not necessarily the team's fault either. Like, sometimes stuff happens. Um, but that sucks. And I think anybody would be pissed if that's how they, handed a win away essentially. And then Jet, he wins, but he didn't ride good. He didn't ride the way that he thinks he can ride. Like, oh, yeah, I say he didn't ride great, but like, I mean, nobody else is really riding that well. Like, it's literally just those two. Like, the pecking order is very clear at the top right now for AMA side of the world that those two are one and two. The battle for third is still like kind of up for debate with Deegs and Jorge. And then obviously who's fifth is all tough with like Jay Coop if he comes back. But right now, Ferrandis and Marchbanks and Harup and Plessinger, like all those dudes can get that fifth place spot. But yeah, they're both so angry. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like Jet has that total control. Like when Jet had his perfect season, you knew that like somebody might catch him, but they're not gonna pass him. He could just put another 2 seconds on him. He could just put another 2 seconds on him. And Moto 1 Redbud 2026, okay, Hunter's catching him, but Jet'll figure it out, right? Jet'll figure it out. Jet'll just put 2 more seconds on him, and it didn't happen. And this is kind of like the first time ever in outdoors where it doesn't feel like Jet has like full control over pretty much the entire series. Um, he was angry after Moto 1, yelling about his foot, can't ride with one foot. On the podium, at first it seemed like he was going to blame the bike and then immediately backed it down and took, the blame to himself and said he had to be better. Um, he tipped over twice in the second moto. Jet said that they tried some stuff on the bike, and I think they just went the wrong direction. He both the tip overs were in corners, getting, on the gas a little too early. I've seen some people online saying that like, oh, Deegs is in his head, that's why he crashed. And that's really funny. Because that's the first moto where Deegan has finished in front of Jet so far this year, is the one where Jet tipped over twice. And he was chasing Deegs and that's why he crashed. No, bro, like he just tucked it. Like it happens, man. It's racing. Um, but yeah, Moto 2, other stuff, Jorge, bro, it really felt like Jorge should have won too. Even you know how like I said Jet, it felt like Jet was gonna just hold off Hunter. He was gonna figure it out. Um, it really felt like Jorge should have figured that out in Moto 2 as well. Like it really feels like I don't know, Jorge he's a four-time champ in MXGP. Like this is two-time 450, two-time 250. He beat Jeffrey Hurlings for a title, bro. Like he beat Jeff Hurlings straight up for a title in in Jeffrey's like prime. And I don't know, I feel like when you're up that much on Hunter, you should be able to just maintain. Um, it wasn't that Jorge didn't have the speed because he was running incredible lap times at points. I just I just think the fitness got him. Maybe weather related. Maybe it was too hot for Jorge to really put in the full 30 plus 2, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to see Jorge get that first win in the States. We haven't seen it yet. We've seen a lot of heat race wins in Supercross, oddly enough. Um, but we haven't seen a moto win, and we haven't seen an overall win, and he had an opportunity to do both. And given how talented Jorge is, I think that he should complete those. Maybe that's just me assessing Jorge too highly, but I think that he is an extremely talented rider, extremely fast, and that his history has shown that he can handle those situations. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't. I was hoping to see it happen, and it didn't. Not that I'm like number Jorge's number one fan, but it's cool to see a new winner. It's cool to see a guy come over and win, but not yet. Maybe it will. Um, so that's our podium for 450s. We have Hunter, Jet, or no, Hunter, Jorge, Jet, in that order. Um, Interesting 4th of July, America's 250th birthday, and only one American rider makes the podium out of the six positions between the two classes, which is kind of crazy. But that just shows you like how global the sport is right now. Um, Usually, it feels like America has one of the top five riders in the world, and I think there's an argument that maybe we don't have a top 450 rider in the world right now. For America, I mean, obviously Jet and Hunter are up there above all of the American riders currently. Um, I think you have to put Kunin up there. I think you have to put Hurlings up there, and then there's an argument right at that number five slot. If you take Febvre, Geischer, Hurling, or not Hurlings, I already listed him, but Hayden or Jorge. That's which is crazy because it feels like for so long USA has had like a clearly dominant force, and right now, um, if we even if we send our A team to nations, I don't feel like it's a lock, and it doesn't feel like it's a lock for us to get on the podium. I don't think anybody on the Team USA is likely to win their class. I mean, it's possible, but it's not likely at this point. Speaking of the best American rider, right now, Deegan Moto 1, first turn crash, that kind of ruined it, but he rode great. Um, Still doesn't really have anything though for Lawrence's. I mean, he's up there on par with Jorge. Obviously, he's competing for that third slot in the AMA, uh, race and all that. He's probably gonna finish third in the title. Let's be real. Um, but yeah, he doesn't really have anything for those Australian brothers at the front right now. He finally beat Jet in a moto. It did take two crashes. I mentioned that earlier. I really think we gotta stop taking the flag up on the podium. We can't be taking the flag on the podium when we didn't finish on the podium, bro. Like we can't do it. We can't do it. I know you got third in the second moto, but bro, like how many times you gonna do this grift, bro? You haven't even raced for the nation's team. Like maybe he does this year, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not a great look that you keep bringing up the flag for these Redbuds like podium interviews, but every year they ask you to join Motocross the Nations team, and he's like, nah. I don't know. I get it though. You don't get paid for those, but I don't know. The grift is kind of boring to me. Not my thing. Not my thing. If you like it, you like seeing an American guy holds an American flag, and you want to watch fireworks and all that, and USA, USA, go ahead and do it, man. Whatever. Um, but Marchbanks, we'll go on to more positive. Garrett Marchbanks is just gonna keep stacking these 5 to 7 results. This is awesome. This is great. Great for Garrett. Great for Cowie. Um, not having any Chase Sexton representation to be getting top 5 to top 8 finishes all constantly from Garrett Marchbanks is awesome. In more Cowie news, it sounds like Cornelius Tondal's getting a fill-in ride there, which is very unexpected. That was not on my bingo card. Never crossed my mind. I never thought of that. It used to be really common that these teams would want to fill in ride the title sponsors for the teams, Monster, Geico, they would want more bikes, more of their gear out on the track, even if you're just calling in a privateer to ride for 2 weeks. It's good to have the stuff out there. That's how they felt, and it's become less and less like that every year for years and years and years, and it feels like we haven't really had a whole lot of fill-in rides in the last decade. I mean, what was it? Alex Ray on Yamaha Factory Yamaha Alex Ray. That's awesome. Cornelius Tondal Factory Cowie. That's sick, dude. I want the Factory Cowie Cornelius Tondal poster hanging in my room. That'd be fire because that's great that might happen. Um, but what else happened this weekend? We got Antonio Cairoli on the Ducati. This is sick. I watched last year. Ducati brought out Cairoli for a few rounds. And I thought that I would never get to see Cairoli race in person growing up in America, seeing him win a bunch of titles in Europe. I just never thought that was going to happen. And then in 2022, I think it was, when KTM had nobody to ride their 450s for pro motocross, and they brought Ryan Dungey out of retirement, and then they had Cairoli come over for a few rounds. It sounded like Cairoli really wanted to do the entire series that year, and KTM just decided that they weren't going to be doing that for whatever reason. KTM decided that wasn't going to happen. So I didn't get to see him that year, but last year I went to Spring Creek, got to see Cairoli race. It's cool, dude. I think it's just awesome to see a living legend still um dominating, not really dominating. I mean, he's not prime Antonio Cairoli anymore, but if you thought he was going to be, that's your fault, dude. He's 40. He's been retired from full-time racing for years at this point. He's a nine-time champ. He's a fucking legend. Like he's a legend, man. Point blank. Sorry, got a little cursing in this. It was a late night episode. We're chilling, bro. But Cairoli being out here and racing is so sick. He's still good. He's still fast. He finished, I think, 11th overall this weekend. I think we're gonna get a top 10 from him at Southwick next weekend, or Spring Creek after that. I really think that he's gonna be good, which is nuts. He's still so fit, um, despite not racing full time any longer. But yeah, I mean, for looking ahead to Southwick, I think there's a good shot that we get an Antonio Cairoli top 10. I want to see it. I'm all here for Cairoli coming out. Cairoli could come out and just do a practice lap. He could just get a whole shot and pull off. That'd be sick. I'm down with any of it. Get the 222 out there, um, under any circumstances, and I'm stoked, bro. Lego announced they're doing a Ducati bike today. And that's gonna be like the Cairoli, dirt bike from Lego. That's dude, awesome. I might need to pick that. My nerdy self might need to pick that up. But Cairoli doing the next view as well. Definitely something to look out for. Living legend. It's sick. It's sick to hear like all the other riders kind of like talk about, like, dude, I raced Cairoli. I passed him. I passed the 222. It's sick. But yeah, next week, Southwick, we get the Coonan brothers back. Um, what more could you ask for, dude? We're throwing the Belgians out here on the sand track. I think you're gonna get a really good performance out of Lucas Coonan again. Um, he was incredible at Lakewood 2-2. I think there's a really good shot that Lucas could win this thing. I give Lucas as good of a shot as anybody, honestly. Maybe Jet and Hunter with a slight edge over Lucas Coonan, but it feels like that's your podium. Unless somebody crashes and things get weird, which totally can happen. It happens at most races, but I would predict that some variation of Hunter, Jet, and then Lucas is going to be your podium somehow, some way. And then for Sasha, he's going to be good. I I think you might get another one of those 113s, 13-1 type scores. I think that's pretty likely. But let me know what you guys think um, for next week Southwick as well. And one last thing to mention before we end this is that today Austin Forkner announced he is officially retired from racing. And man, it just sucks to see a kid who had so much potential and truly had fulfilled a lot of it. He retires with 13 250 class Supercross wins, which I believe ties him for third overall, like third all time in 250 Supercross wins. He, man, he should have won that 2019 title. Go, guys, go back and watch the 2019 250 East Supercross title. Forkner was so dominant. He should have been that champion that year if it weren't for injuries. Man, you need to finish the rounds, and unfortunately for Austin, it just didn't break that way. It just didn't go the way that um, a lot of careers can or could, should, would, but he 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 was always balls fast. He could, take a hit, get up, recover from the injury, and then immediately come out and be balls fast again in that kind of Trey Kennard type ability. It really felt like he would always win a title. It kind of always felt like inevitable especially in the late 2010s and early 2020s. It was like, well, yeah, he's gonna get one. Oh, well, Jet might, and then he'll get one, and then oh well, maybe after that, he'll come back from this injury, but it just didn't, unfortunately, come to fruition for Austin. But I hope, you know, good things for him, and that he'll be able to enjoy some time away from the sport. I'm sure, you know, he gave the sport a lot, and it took a lot from him. So I could understand him wanting to not even watch for a little bit, but I don't know. Hopefully, we'll hear more from him, and he'll probably stay involved in the sport in some ways. I mean, it's kind of always been a part of his life. I'm sure most of these top guys they've been racing since they were like 4, but yeah, you know, uh, talk, leave a comment talking about, your favorite Forkner moment. That 2019 series, dude, he was so on fire. I think about that series like once a month. Like that dude was so fast. He probably should have. He definitely should have won that title. Before he got hurt, he'd won every East round, including Triple Crown races. He won all 3 of his Triple Crowns. And then in the showdowns, he had been only beaten by guys on the other coast. So he had not, like, every single round he was putting points on the East that year. It was nuts. But yeah, happy retirement to Austin Forkner. Um, I'm curious to see where Triumph goes now that it is for sure confirmed they're no Forkner, no Swole. Harup is supposed to be going back to MXGP, etc. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, what you're looking forward to in Southwick, who you guys got for these titles. It's starting to feel more and more like we're getting Joe and Hunter as our champs, but let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later.